This conference will now be recorded.
Hi all, welcome to the session. Hope you all can hear me and see my screen. Okay. So see here, yesterday we have discussed on simple list and simple details, and there is one more pattern called simple list and details. I want you to try that. Okay. Today I will tell you anyways how to work with the joints and all those. So you can try the remaining. Okay. Yep. So see here, I want to create a new form now. Click on the new item, and then I'm taking a new form. I will call this as ICI customers. Okay, ICI, or let me call it as cost savings. Let's say, for example, if I am creating a customer, I want to create a savings account. Okay, ICI customer, and then I want to call it as savings as well. Click on the add button. Now you can see a pattern here. I will right click on this, and then I will select a pattern called details master. Okay, I'm selecting a pattern called details master, and you can see in this details master we have a action pane, we have a navigation list, we have a panel tab. Now the first thing that will come to our mind is, oh, this is a new pattern, so how to apply them? To apply them, what I suggest you is, instead of going directly and apply them, let's go to the accounts receivable, and then let me select all customers. Okay, because what we can do is we can compare and apply. Okay, because frankly speaking, in ERP, if you ask me, do you know everything in this ERP, all the modules and everything, I will simply say no. It's not needed to remember everything. Yeah, if you remember everything now, you will forget, because the capacity of brain is limited. You can't remember everything that you want. It's not possible. Okay, if I ask you, when you're studying 7th class on July 2nd, what you have done, do you remember that? No, no one will remember that. That's not possible. It's similar. Even in the ERP as well, if you try to learn each and everything, because hundreds of developers will sit together to develop this kind of ERPs. And if hundreds of developers are sitting together to develop an ERP, how can you remember this on the fly? It's nowhere possible. Do you know that? It's nowhere possible. So what we need to do is, we need to check, and then we need to learn how to use it. For example, this all customers is there. Okay, like this, there are a lot of forms which are using details master. Okay, now this is the form name is cost table. Okay, the form name is cost table, and this is the details master, one of them. So let me go to Application Explorer, and then let me go to User Interface, Forms, and then Cache Table. Let me check. Okay. If I right click, oh sorry, I think this should be the list page. Sales table. 1 second, let me check. I don't remember. I forgot. This is details master only. Okay, I forgot. Okay, I will forget. As I told you, now I will forget. Okay, now you can see this details master contains. Again, if I go to pattern, you can see action pane, navigation list, panel tab. Okay, now actually, let's say you want to see first of all action pane. It has the buttons and everything. We will see that later on. Next one is navigation list. This navigation list contains one quick filter and then a grid. So for this grid, what exactly they have done? Let me check. If you go to the properties, you can see that. Okay, it's a list style grid, and they have not added any data source, but they might have added some fields. Let me check. There are two fields: account number and the name. Okay, so what is this navigation list? So on the left side, there will be a list that will be displayed. Okay, there will be a list that will be displayed. Okay, you can see this filter. One is this one, and let me open and show you one more thing. 1 second. This is filter. By default, it's added with account number, and if I select any one of the account, it will open one more page. It will open one more page. Okay, and this is panel tab. Okay, this is panel tab. Now where is navigation list? Can you see these 3 lines? Let me click on this. This is what is called navigation list. This is what is called navigation list. And if you want to get this navigation list, what you need to do? You need to simply apply this navigation list. Okay, that is the purpose of navigation list. And the other one is panel tab. The tab contains tab pages. One is details and the other one is grid. Okay, here I have the grid. So from where is this grid actually? Now if I close this, here you can see the tabs. If I close this, you can see grid. This grid you are getting it from the main grid. Oh, you might ask me how you are identifying all this. It's very simple here. It will take some time for you, a little bit of experience, because already I have gone through all this. So I'm telling you directly. Okay, because this is the grid control, and for this grid control now, you can see here, if I go to form information, it will give me the control name, cash table underscore account number. Okay, what I will do is I will check. You can simply find the reference as well, where it is, cash table underscore account number. This is how I identify. This is how I identify. I want you to do in a similar fashion. Now what we need to do? Now we need to come back to the customer savings, details master, action pane. Okay, I will not add any buttons to the action pane. We will add them later on because I want to discuss it separately. Action pane is added, done. Now if you want to set some good caption, you can do that. You can say it is a action pane, and then the next step in the pattern is navigation list. Okay, so before adding a navigation list, I want to decide the data sources that I need to add here. So what are the data sources? Let's say I want to add address. Let's say I want to add customers. Let's say I want to add savings account. I have added 3 data sources. Now the second thing is you need to add the relations. Go to properties and you have a joint data source. As this is savings account, the joint data source will be customers, and then link type. See here, this link type is again a different kind of property. You can see there are different link types here. So what is a link type? Now let's say you have how many data sources? How many data sources here? We have 2 data sources. And what we are doing? We are trying to join both the data sources. Is that right? We are trying to join both the data sources. Yeah, we are trying to join both the form data sources. So while joining this, there are multiple things that we can do. Okay, so what are those? One is joins. You can see we have inner join, outer join, exist join, not exist join. Inner join means get the matching records. Outer join means it's a left outer join. Get all the records from left table and matching records from right table. Exist join means fetch only whatever the records that exist and the data will be from the parent table. Not exist means fetch the records that does not match, that do not match. Along with this, you can see 3 more. One is called active, second one is called delayed, third one is called passive. Okay, so the difference is when you set it to active, okay, and let's say you have updated some data on the parent data source, then if you want it to be immediately reflected, you have updated the parent data source and then you want child data source to be immediately affected, then we will use something called active link type. As the name indicates, it's always active. It's always active means it will consume lot of resources. It will consume lot of resources. So based on the client requirement, we need to decide whether we need to go with active or not. Okay, if you have the business requirement, then only you need to go for active. Otherwise, don't go for active. The second one is called delayed. Okay, in case of delayed, a small pause will be inserted. Okay, in case of delayed, a small pause will be inserted before the child data source get updated. Okay, so see here the difference again. If you ask me, did you find the difference between active and delayed when you set these properties? I will simply say nowhere you will find the difference. So whatever we discussed, that from the MSDN documentation. Okay, because the updates will happen, but in between the updates there might be slight delay. Okay, and the third one is called passive. You have updated the parent data source and you don't want the child data sources to be updated automatically. What you want to do? You want to program, you want to write a piece of code so that the child data sources will get updated. In that case, you will use something called passive. Okay, you will use something called passive. And as I can say, either you can go with delayed or with inner join. Well, that's up to you, because, or let's say if you want to work with active as well, you can do here, because it's a one-to-one mapping. You'll find no difference. Okay, customers. For customers, I don't want to add anything here. First, let me do one thing. Let me add the customers, and then okay, I have added the join sources customers here. Done. Along with this, you can see few of the properties. These properties you already seen on the query, few of them. Hello create, hello delete, hello edit, hello notify, hello auto query, auto search, cross company auto query. If you want to have the cross company, then inserted and insert if empty. These two are interesting properties. Okay, frankly speaking, what people will do is they will forget adding these properties. Okay, insert if empty. By default, if it is empty, add a new record. Insert at end. If you are adding a new record, add it at the end. Okay. If you don't want end users to insert or update the data, then you need to set both of them to no. If you want them to add the data, then you need to set them to yes. Okay. It depends on how you want to use the form. Please remember. Okay. So these are the properties, and we have added few of the screens now. Now, actually, I want to go to the next step. I want to create a new, and then I want to create a group control. Okay, and in this group control, it is expecting a quick filter, a grid. Okay, and you can set some caption here. You can call it as navigation list. And in this, hey, control names I'm not changing, but you need to change. Please remember, this is not the best practice, because it will consume a whole lot of time. So only one time I have changed them, but please change them whenever and wherever needed. Quick filter, and this is my quick filter control. Okay, and after this, I want to add a grid control. Right click on the new button, and then I want to add a grid control. Where is my grid here? Grid. Okay, and for this grid control now, I will add the data source, and the data source would be ICI customers. I have 3 data source, but from that I want to add the customers. Okay, and in this customers as well, I want to show the customer ID and then name. Customer ID and then name. If you want to add more fields, you can add it on the this one. Done. Now I have added the data here. The next step is tap, click on the new button, and then go to tab control, and then add it. In this, there are 2 tabs. One is details panel and the other one is grid panel. Okay, So in this tab, okay, you can only change the style, whatever the type of tabs you are having. Okay, fast tabs, vertical tabs, panorama, and drop list. Okay, you can change the style of the tabs and you can check. Next, you can create any number of tab pages. And here, please remember, if it is expecting this number of tab pages, na, try to create all the controls. Because if you see here, na, what will happen is initially when I created the tab page control one, it took it as a grid panel. When I created the second one, it took it as the grid panel. So whenever you have similar set of controls in a pattern, add all those controls, later on update them. Please remember this. Okay, this is a details panel. So I will name it as details panel, and then I have the caption here. I will call it as details panel, and this is grid panel. I will set the caption as grid panel, and then I will call this as grid panel. Done. Okay, this is my grid panel. Now in the details panel again, it is expecting a group and then a tab. Click on the right click and then click on the new button. Add a group control here, and this group control is expecting a string control, which is a header title. So add it out. Okay, click on the new button and then add a string control. Now in this group control, now if you want to set some caption, you can set it up. Okay, you can call it as header title group. Okay, for the sake of understanding where exactly it is. And then for the string control, you can add a text. For string, you will have a field called text. You can add it. You can call it as header title. Done. Okay. Now you can see that again, coming to these properties, as I told you, you will find most of them similar from the field. Okay. You can see here text, as this is a form, you want to display a text on the front end, you can see this text. And the style, what is the style you want to add, whether it's a title field or not, you can set it up. Okay, and the visible, whether you want to display it or not, and what is the display length, display size, everything, the sizing. Okay, by default it is set to auto. Okay, auto means it will take the size of the whatever you add. Okay, based on the content text, it will take the size. Okay, and auto declaration, if you want to set some default value, if you want to use this control in the code, we will use this auto declaration, because what are the properties that you see, most of them will be already known here. And you can see there is a label. Okay, if you want to display any label now, then you can do that, but actually here I don't want to use it because this is a title. Okay, done. Next, you need to add a tab again. Okay, right click on the new button, and then let me add a tab. Go to properties, and okay, I'm thinking whether to change the name or not. Oh, let it be there, no worries. And to this tab, you can add any number of tab pages. I will add 1, 2, 3, like this. I have added 3 tab pages. Okay. Now this is my tab control page control 1. I will call this as customer details 1. Okay, because this is the customer details tab. Okay, and it is expecting the sub pattern. Now you can right click on the apply pattern, and you can have the fields and field groups. Okay, I am adding the fields and field groups. Now you can add few of the fields in it. Okay, you can take address line 1, 2, something, whatever you want. Done. Okay, now let me apply the another pattern here. Here you will have the second pattern called toolbar and fields. Now here, if you add the toolbar and fields, this is the only difference. It will expect the one more action pin. Okay, so let me do. If you want to remove this pattern, whatever you need to do is you need to click on the remove pattern. Okay, I will apply the toolbar and fields again later on, because in this case I don't need any action pin. I will show that when we go to this one. What do you call this? Table of contents. Okay, done. I am adding all the remaining fields to this one. Done. and this you can call it as customer details 2. Done. Okay, and then I have the third one, and here I will add all the savings account pages. Click on the apply pattern and then fields and field groups. You can go to the other one, savings account fields, and you can select all the fields whatever is needed, and then you can drag and drop. Done. Okay, done. Now we have added the control here as well. Now actually this grid, it is expecting custom filter group, main grid default action, command button. Okay, it is expecting 3 things. Now let me add this. How many groups are there? Only one group. So let me add a group control here. Click on the new, and then let me add a group control, and here you will have only one option in the pattern, and that would be custom and quick filters. If you want to add a custom filter, you can add it, but I want to go with the quick filter. Okay, so I will add a quick filter here. Okay, I am going with a quick filter. Done. Next, main grid. Right click on the new button, and then we need to go for a grid control here. A grid. Okay, and then for this grid control, we have the data source property. Data source, I will set it to customers. Done. And then I will go to customers data source now, and then I will drag and drop few fields: customer ID, date of birth, email ID, father name, mobile number. These many fields are not needed. Let me remove this email ID. Drag and drop to this one. Done. Okay, now I am done. Next, 1 second. I need to add one more button, which is a command button. Right click on the new button, command button. Okay, and this is my command button, and there is no need of adding any label. Okay, because that is just use it for default action. Go to the design, you have the default action, you can select this command button. Okay, so what does this does? Actually, from the main grid, it should take us back to where? From the main grid, it should take us to master form. Okay, the default action is going to do that for us. Okay, the default action is going to do that activity for us. Please remember. Okay, that is the purpose of default action. Now sometimes what people will get confused is, now I have this many fields, how to get in one particular order. Okay, so if you want to get in that particular order, then what you can do is, hey, what is this? Actually, it's selecting multiple, which is why I closed it. Okay, now you can see I have the customer ID here, and then this is my first field. So now let's open the screen, and then we will see how it works, the details master form. Okay, the details master form. Okay, and before that, there is one last thing that I want you to tell you. Okay, I want to tell you, and that is, if I expand this, you have this related information. Okay, what is this? You have this related information. You can see you're getting all these details. To get this related information, we have something called parts. You can see these parts here. Okay, so we need to create a new part, and then we need to assign it. To do that, let me go to Solution Explorer, and then right click on the add button, and then select new item, and let me create a new form. I will call this as ICI form part. Okay, I'm calling it as ICI form part. And the design pattern, right click on the apply pattern, and here I will take form part, fact box, grid. Done. It is expecting a grid here. Right click on the new button, and then add a grid control. Okay, now go to Solution Explorer, and in the tables we have ICI address. I want to drag and drop this to the data source. From this address, I want to select the fields, city, country, district, state, street, zip code, drag and drop to grid control. Done. Okay. And set the data source of grid and then data source of design. Okay. I am setting this to ICI address, and here as well I will set the data source to ICI address. Done. Okay. I have created form part, and we will see how to attach this form part or there. And I will create two menu items now. One menu item is for my form part, one menu item is for my details form master. Display menu item, I will call this as ICI form part, and here in the properties I will assign the object and I will call it as ICI form part. Okay, this form part we will attach to the front end. Okay, and the label I will simply call it as form part fact box. Okay, done. The next step would be for details master. Right click on the add button, new item, and create a display menu item, and let me call it as ICI details master. Okay, go to properties and set the property called object to ICI cost savings or something I created now. Let's select that cost savings, save, and set some good label. You can call this as details form master save. Okay, done. Now go to solution explorer, and already we have the menu. Where is it? Okay, open this menu, and you have the setup. Let me create one more sub menu. Okay, I will create a new sub menu, and in the properties I will call this as common, and then label I will set it as common. And if you want to move them up and down, you can use Alt key up. Then it will be very easy. Okay. Next, go to Solution Explorer and then drag and drop whatever you have created to the common. Done. Okay. Now it's done. The next step is we need to add this form partner. Let me go to this form part cost savings, and then in the parts reference, click on the new form part, go to properties. Here it is expecting a menu item name. 1 second. You can set it to ICI form part. Oh, I did not get it. Why? ICI form part. This is the best. Okay. And then you can select the data source as customers and data source relation customer.ici address. Done. Save. Okay. Now we have added the form part as well. Now let me go to Solution Explorer and do a rebuild. Once the build is finished, we will look all this at the front end now. Okay. In the meantime, if you have any queries, please let me know.
What is that relation in that form part? We have selected address to
That
address.
relation is not in the form part. That relation, when you create this part, then you will get it. In the form part reference, you will have the relation. Build completed successfully. Now let me go to the front end and let me open the URL. We will see now. Okay, it got loaded successfully. Now let me go to bank management system, and here you can see the common at the beginning, details from master. Let me select this, and we will see how does it look like. Now you can see uh, you have the customer ID, date of birth, and all these things. Okay, now let me select any one of the record and click on edit button. Oh, actually you can see here we have missed one thing, because you can see there is no I cannot click anything here. Okay, in the details for master we have two screens now. Here I am getting only one screen here. This as well I will always forget. Okay, 1 second, let me look at it. There is one more, there should be one more option. I used to send it somewhere. Just a second, I will show you. Okay, on the grid or command button. 1 second, give me a second. Okay, data source, default action, this one. Okay, this is what I forgot. Now go to Solution Explorer and then do a rebuild again, and now we will see. Now it should appear automatically. Okay, just a second. Okay, now let me go to the front end again, back to back. Now let me open this link back again. Okay, and then we will see. Okay, now again let me go to bank management system, details from master. Done. Now let's see whether we get it or not. Now you can see I got the blue color here. Okay, let me click on this link. Okay, this is the grid. If I select any one of the account, it will go into edit screen. Now you can see here customer details, and then you can see here account details. Now this is the next one. You can see here 1001 navigation list, 1002, 1003, 1004. Oh, seems like 1004. Okay, Here it says there is no account number. 5,000 is the minimum balance. It has created control N. Insert if empty. This is what it meant. Okay. This is what is insert if empty. Got it? This is what is insert if empty. Okay. Ready to know? Then it will not give anything here. If you want to create a new record, you can use the new record. If you want to edit the record, you can use the edit button. Okay. This is how we are going to work with details form master. Please remember, stop using the list page. Okay. Whenever it is possible, you need to use details master. In case if you have any other requirement and there is no other choice, then go for this one. Okay. And I think I have not showed the fact box. Here you can see related information, and here you can see form part fact box, and you can see the address details. Depending upon the selected record, it will show you the address. Okay. You can add any transactions. Let's say it is a sales table. You can add the sales orders here, and you can display the lines here, or you can display the totals. Whatever you want, you can display. That's up to you. Okay. That's up to you. Only one thing that you need to remember is it should have the relation with the data source that you have added. And you can add any number of fact boxes here. You can do that. Okay. So this is how we are going to work with details form master. Okay. Yeah. Now let's move to the next one. Now we know what is the details form master as well. And then we know how to create a form part and how to work with the form part. Okay. We know this. Now let's move on to the next one. I will create a hub part, and then we will see how to work with the hub part. Okay. Now to create a hub part, it's very simple. Yeah. We have the other tables as well. Nah? What are those? Entity details, employee expense, and all this. Nah? Let's do one thing. Let's create one screen for, I'm thinking, card account. Okay. Let's create one screen for card account now. I will create one screen for card account. Click on the new item, and then I will create a form. I will call this as ICI hub part. Done. Okay, this is the hub part. And here as well, it's very simple. You can simply add the table, drag and drop the table, and then you can add the fields. That's it. It's very simple. Creating the screens is very simple in Dynamics 365. You know one thing, while I was explaining in AX 2012, the same details master is used to take 1.5 hours. Whereas coming to the Dynamics 365, nah, it took only how much time? Half an hour, 40 minutes. It took 40 minutes. That's the difference to build everything. Okay. Next, I'm creating a hub part grid here. Okay. In the hub part grid, you can observe one very important thing. What is that? You have only grid. Remaining two are optional. If you want to add the default action and navigate to somewhere else, you can do that. And the second one is content grid. That's it. Only grid, and it will display the data. Okay. If you select the fields, whatever you need, okay, it will simply display the data of these fields on the screen. Oh, sorry. I need to add a grid. 1 second. There is no action pane or nothing here. Where is the grid? This is the grid. And then let me take all these fields. Okay. Drag and drop. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Done. Save. Creating the hub part is finished. Let me create a new menu item. Right click. Click on the add button. New item. And then take a display menu item. And you can call it as ICI hub part. Click on the add button and go to properties. Set the object type to ICI hub part, and then the next step is set the label to hub part grid. Save. Okay. Now go to Solution Explorer and your menu. Where is the menu? Where is this? 1 second. Bank management system, and drag and drop your hub part to common. Done. Save. Okay. Now let me do a rebuild and we will see whether it looks or not. Okay, how it will look like. It's very simple. Coming to the hub part. Not only hub part. Okay, if you ask me, what are the things that will take, what are the patterns that will take time in Dynamics 365? I will tell you only two patterns. Okay, one is your details master, and the second one is if you are going with the list page. Only those two will take a bit of time, a half an hour or 1 hour. Whereas all the remaining others, simply adding the screens. Okay, simply adding screens to it or simply adding data to it. Because for example, if I take workspace, you are going to add some screens to it. Okay, in the meantime, let it build. I want you to do one more thing here. Oh, build got completed. Oh, it's pretty fast here. You can see this, how fast it is. Now let me go to this one again and let me rerun. And I want you to download and install Power BI. Okay, I want you to download and install Power BI. I will show you how to do that. It's very simple. Open Chrome or whatever the browser you have. One second, it's loading still. Okay, now open the browser and you can search Power BI standalone installer. Okay, or offline installer. Power BI offline installer. Okay, I'm searching for Power BI on offline installer. I got this Power BI link here, and one second, let it load. Now I should have the link, because when you're downloading the Power BI reporting tool, okay, when you're downloading the Power BI reporting tool, the problem is that it will navigate you to the store. Okay, what it will say is it will navigate you to the store, Microsoft store, but unfortunately in server you don't have the Microsoft store itself, so how can you download it? Okay, so whatever we will do is we will download the offline installer. We will download the offline installer from here. Okay, click on the download button. I have the x64 PC. You can select this, click on the next, and it will download Power BI for you. You can see it here. Okay, and I think already I have the Power BI with me. One second, let me check. Is it installed or not? Okay, it's already there, but I will show you how to install. Don't worry. Okay, let it download. The next step. Now let me get back to the bank management system. For hub part grid, you can see this. Select. That's it. No edit, no create, no save. If you want to only view the data, then you can do this. Got it? If the requirement is only to view the data, this is what you can do. Okay, please remember. Next, you can see this unable to view details, no form exists for ICA savings account. Okay, if you have any savings account screen and if you attach that to this one, then obviously if you click this, it will take you to that screen. But actually we have not created or we have not embedded that, which is why you're seeing that error. Okay, done. This is about this one. The next one. What is the next one? It's okay, table of contents, drop dialog workspace. Okay, so we will do one thing. First of all, we will see installation of Power BI and then we will move on to the next one. Select this. And you can see the English here. Select next. Click on the yes button. It will install the Power BI desktop for you. Okay. Please download this and then install Power BI. Okay, please remember. Okay, for me it's already installed, but for you, I want you to install this. So after installing this, the next step would be setting up Power BI. How to set up Power BI? Okay, there should be a URL called dev.powerbi.com/apps. This should be the one. Now you can see here, it is asking whether you want to sign into the Power BI or you want to sign up. Okay, if you have the account, you can sign in. You can sign in with your what is called this on Microsoft account. So you can directly use the on Microsoft account and you can sign in. Now you can see this is my password which is already there. Click on the sign in button. Okay. Oh, it says we have sent a notification to your mobile device. Just to give me a second. Hey, sorry, yeah. Actually, the notification that it has sent to my mobile device, but that particular device is switched off. Okay, just I have kept it for charging. Okay, let's do one thing. Just wait for a few more minutes. We will see this. Okay. In the meantime, we will see the next one. Okay. Now see here. I hope you are clear about all the screens. Okay. Now I am going for the next screen called table of contents. What is table of contents and where do we use it? Now, if I go to the front end, and if you see any one of the parameters form, okay, if you see any one of the parameters form, we are going to use a screen called table of contents. Okay, there will be few things which we need to do a one-time setup. What we need to do? We need to do a one-time setup. So in that particular instance, generally we will be using a table of contents. What is table of contents? On the left panel, you will have a table, and then on the right panel, you are going to have the contents. Okay, you can see this is the table and this is the contents. Now you might ask me, oh, this is the way or is there any other way? If you want to get tabs at the bottom, you can get it. If you want to get tabs, that's as per your wish. You can get it in any fashion you want. Let's create a new form. Right click on the add button, new item, and let me select a form and call it as ICI table of contents. Okay, ICI table of contents. Okay, now here in the pattern, I will right click on the apply pattern. I will select a pattern called table of contents. Done. Now you can see table of contents is very cool. It contains only one thing, a tab. If you add the tab, you're done. Right click on the new, and then search for the tab control. Done. This is my tab control. Okay, go to properties. You will have the similar set of properties. There will be no difference again. Okay, and to this tab, you can add 0 to n. You can add 0 to n. That means it can have tabs or not. So let me add a tab pages. New tab page 1, new tab page 2, new tab page 3. Like this, you can add any number of tab pages you want. And for each tab page, it will expect at least 2 controls. Okay, and I will set the caption. I want to set the caption as primitive controls. Okay, I want to add primitive controls in this tab page. Okay, now right click on the new button, and then select a group control here, group, and this group control, you need to add a control called static text. What is static text? Okay, I'm calling static text group as the caption, and then if you want to display some content, a text, a hard coded text which is not modifiable on the screen, then we are going to use a control called static text control. Then we are going to use a control called static text control. I will call this as static text control so that you can see how it will appear. Okay, now this is done, and the next step, it is expecting a tab. Right click and then click on the new, create a tab control here. Okay, create a tab. And obviously, if you have a tab, it will have the tab pages. New tab page, new tab page. Here you can set the pattern. And in the pattern, this time I want to apply toolbar and fields. Okay, in this toolbar and fields, it will expect the action pane. Click on the new button and then select the action pane control. Done. And then the next one is a group control. Click on the new button, add a group control here. And in this group control, again, you need to set the pattern. Okay, a sub pattern, fields and field groups. You can see here it's limited. So in this fields and field groups, I am not going to get any data. Instead of that, I will add the new and then I will select the primitive controls. Okay, I want to select the primitive date. See here, I am just adding the controls. I am not adding anything else. If you want to add the labels, you can add it. Okay, you can call it as date control. Save. And similarly to this group, right click on the new button and then select date time and set the label as date time control. Save. And then you can right click on the new button, date time, and then what else? You can come down. You should have something called int64. You can call this as int64 control. All these are unbounded controls. They are not bound to the database. Please remember, all these are unbounded controls. Okay. Now I have added few fields to this tab page. Good. Now I want to select the next one. Apply pattern. Here I want to apply. Okay. Here this panel toolbar and these are not going to work. Fields and field groups. Right click on the new, and then take the integer control label. You can select integer control, save, and then you can right click on the new, and what else is there? Integer and real. You can set it to real control, and then right click. Did I set the caption for this? No. Okay. Primitive 2, and this is primitive 1. Okay. And then right click on the new real, and then a string. Okay, you can call it as not inside. I want to set the label string control, and then we have missed GUID. Click on the new button, a GUID control. You can call it as GUID control. Done. And then do we have anything else left? No. Okay. Now that we have added almost all the controls, let me check. Tree tab star string done. Okay, we have added all the controls. Those are needed. Now this is my tab. Okay, for this tab you can see this style. In this style, what I will do is I will set it to fast tabs, or let me do one thing. Let me set it to vertical tabs. Done. Okay, and I have one more tab here. To this tab, I have set caption to primitive controls. Here I can see the style. It's auto. Details from grid, details from details, details from line panel. That's up to you. If you want to set anything, you can do that. Okay, for the tab page. And for this tab, it's vertical tabs. And you can change it if you want. Next, for this tab page control, it is expecting a group again. Let me simply copy this group. 1 second. Copy. Because instead of adding, we can directly paste it here. That would be easier task. Okay. And you can paste that group here as well. Done. Okay. Now it is expecting a tab page. Tab, click on the new button and then add a tab control. Where is tab? You can add a tab control, and you can add one tab page. Okay, currently I'm not adding data to it, but later on we will add it. You can copy and you can paste it simply here. Okay, and this one I will call it as tab page control 2. Okay, because we will add data tomorrow for this too. Okay, this is called as tab page control 2. Save. Done. Now it's done. Now the next step, create a menu item and call it as table of contents. ICI table of contents. Save and go to properties and then set the object property to ICI table of contents. Save and you can call this as table of contents. Save. Done. Now the next step would be copy it to the bank management system. Okay, you have the common instead of creating new one, or let me take it to the setup. Done. Save. Okay, do your rebuild. Okay, once the build is finished, we will go for the next step. Now let me look at this whether it can start or not. Okay, it's at 5%. Okay, build got completed successfully. Now let me refresh this back again and we will see it. Okay, 1 second, still starting. Oh, it says we are having trouble with your account. Really, this goes crazy. One second here. I'm waiting for the code. It says it has sent the phone code, but I did not receive it. What should be done? It's really not a good thing for this. Okay, good that I got at least call. What I need to do now? It's very bad. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me authenticate this later on. Huh? Let me finish this and then I will authenticate. Just a second. Bank management system, table of contents. Now you can see here primitive 1, primitive 2. Okay, and then you have the tab page control 2, tab page control, which does not have anything. This is how we are going to work with the table of contents. Okay, now actually I have the date here. Let me type something in tab. Can you see this? This is not written by me. It's an automatic validation from the system. And similarly, in the int64, let me try it. It's also an automatic validation. Let me try to enter numbers. Can you see this? This is also your automatic validation. So this is how the validations are already implemented. There is no need for us to implement the validation. And all these are unbound controls. They are not bound to the database. Okay, they are not bound to the database. And this is how a table of contents will look like. Okay, yeah, now it's your time. Please let me know if you have any queries. In the meantime, I will try to authenticate this. Any questions? Hey, it simply calls and says call ended. Yeah, don't know what is going on with this one. And even I am not getting the SMS as well. Seems like some issue from their end only. Okay, let me do one thing. I will try again after some time and then I will set it up. But here I will show you how to set it up tomorrow. Okay, because I am not getting these calls or it is not responding from the Microsoft end itself. Okay, don't know what's the exact reason. Might be issue with my account as well. I will have a look at it. Okay, now it's your time. Please let me know if you have any queries.
Yeah, when we use hub part,
Hub part we will use when we are working with workspaces, or if
okay,
you want to show some read-only data to the user.
okay. So can we give there a hyperlink like we provided using a default action button?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay,
Okay, at last it got signed in, but at the end it said something went wrong. Try again later. Okay, let me try again back. Okay, there was a problem signing in. It's really okay. This is how it looks like. And once you will get to this screen, the next step would be registration. Okay, this is what actually I want to show you, but unfortunately it took this much amount of time. Okay, now you can see it is expecting the application name, application type, homepage URL, redirect URL. Okay, so how to set this up? By default, by default, whenever you go to this front end, you will have system administration module. In this, you are going to have powerbi.com configuration. Okay, powerbi.com configuration. Here we need to set it up. Okay, I need to edit this because this is the old account one. Now I am adding a new account. Okay, so let me change it. I will show you how to do that. Open SQL, and then there is a table called Power BI configuration. What is the table name? There is a table called Power BI configuration. Oh, unfortunately, everyone left, but actually it got connected. Yeah, let me set it up. That would be an easier thing. It's going to take a fraction of a minute or two, not more than that. Because when we are discussing with workspaces, I want to show you how to add this Power BI tiles, which is why I'm showing you this one.
okay,
You will know how to integrate with Power BI and Dynamics AX. Click on connect. It will connect and then select new query. We will have a table called Power BI configuration. What is the table name? Power BI configuration. Select star from Power BI configuration. Run. Okay, good. I think Power BI config. This is the one. Now in this, you have this redirect URL. Simply copy the URL as is and then paste it in the redirect URL. Okay. By default, if you don't get this, don't worry. You need to simply click on okay, here you will have the option edit. Click on edit and then save. You will get it. Okay. Remember, and you need to enable this. The next step would be Power BI homepage URL. I will say www.acceptaschool.com or whatever it can be. And then display name. I will say D365 November 2020. Done. So once you're done, you can select all. If you want to try everything, remember you will get a trial. If you want to subscribe for the trial, you can subscribe it and then click on register button. What is missing? Oh, okay. Okay, register. It will register and then provide the application ID. Select this and you can paste it over here. And the second one is application key, copy, and you can paste it over here and then click on the save button. You're done. Okay. Actually, after saving this data, here in the options, you need to authorize. You can see open report catalog, dashboard catalog. Now you will get these options, but by default, it will be empty now because we don't have anything. And you need to authorize. Click on that option, click here to provide the authorization, and then you can see all the permissions are requested, consent, and then accept. So once you accept, you are done. The Power BI configuration is completed. So once the Power BI configuration is completed, you can close this. Okay, it said successful. Now you can just refresh your page. Now you can see the Power BI. But actually here there is a tile, but it does not have anything. Don't worry, because this is the previous tile that I have connected. We will create a new tile, no worries. And to do that, go to options. You have a tile catalog, open tile catalog. If there are any tiles, it will open. Okay. Oh, it is throwing the error. Yeah, good. It is saying we will see how to solve this error. Don't worry, I will show you. You know what is the reason for this error? Because this is connected to the previous one from where I am getting this error. I will show you. I will show you how to solve this. You need to simply create one new dashboard. You need to simply create one dashboard and you need to attach that. The error will be solved. Okay. Yeah, this is how you need to integrate. Please finish off this integration. It is very, very important. Okay. Now it's your
Yeah.
time. Please let me know if you have any queries.
The configuration on which we provided the application ID and that client secret, yeah, uh, uh, is from where it's generated. It's from app registration tool.
Yes, this is from Power BI.
Okay. Okay, and the one hyperlink you have provided, one URL, http x school. Is that
That is
site need
my
to
own
be?
URL. That
Okay.
does not exist. That does not need. Okay. You can provide anything.
Okay.
You can provide abcdefgh.com. It will work.
Okay.
Okay. Only redirect URL is important.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Next. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Thanks all for the session. Let's meet again tomorrow same time. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.